Hello, my name is Ethan Scott Walden, and this is my video for the Fractal Terrain Generator. I initially wrote like the code that's, you know, raised and lowered the terrain, although it later got rewritten by one of my other teammates, and they didn't tell me. So, unfortunately, I don't have as many implemented contributions this time. But I will show what we do have as far as, it does work, the program. It's just I don't have as much code in here as usual. So yeah, here's this let me quickly yeah, let me just make sure that you guys can see this window here. So there's a terrain. It's great. It's awesome. And if you go here in the console and you say that you want to raise it, well, let's go ahead and raise this bottom left corner 0, 0. Let's raise it by a factor of 20. You see it went up a little bit there? Pretty cool, right? Or about in the center, we can do the same thing. Yeah, and we can also lower at certain points. Flatten is kind of interesting. It kind of just makes everything in given a radius have the same like height as the thing in the center. Very interesting thing that my team might have implemented. I don't know why it's just like that, but there you go. And yeah, there's that. So as you can see, there's a lot of red. There are a lot of new things here, but there's also a lot of random things that were rewritten for some reason. But yeah. Anyway, my contributions, or rather the remnant of it, is down here. This is like the remnant of my recursive thing that I had to raise the height map. It was later replaced with this, I must admit, much better function. Um, I mean, I didn't like how the adjustment was being calculated. It was just like straight up 10 all the time. So I changed that to make it different. So it's kind of like, it's highest in the middle, and then it kind of goes down like as you get further away. But besides that, this is better than what I had, but this is what I did make, and it was removed without them really telling me that they were going to do it. So yeah, it is indeed here. So mm, yeah. So let me just explain what's going on here. This inner AHM positive and inner AHM negative were like these are the like little functions within the that were formerly within this adjust type map was what was being it was what was being called over and over again pretty much. That was what you were doing the recursion on. You entered this one if your number was positive, and this one if your number was negative. And they're pretty much exactly identical. The only difference is the base cases. In both cases, you will return if you're out of bounds. Um, for this one, you return if the calculated value for how much you're going to raise or lower well, in this case, raise. You will return here if the amount that you were calculated to raise, like the particular point you're on, either ended up being 0 or a negative number. And you would also return if you already visited the coordinates, which is represented by um, as I'll see here, in this visit and adjust function, it not only adds a string representation of coordinates to this visited chords set so that we can know that we already have been there. But it also raises the height map by the calculated raise value. And so we calculate the distance of the so okay. So then we deal with the 4 points that are adjacent to the one that we're on. We calculate the distance of that point from the original one, like the original X and Z that the user would have entered. And then we just recur again, and we use that as a distance, and we use the, I mean, you use the new X and Z values X and Z parameters, but we also pass the original ones because we still need them. And yeah, we just do that. It's the same thing inside of the positive, it's just positive. Again, really the only functional difference between these is the base cases. But of course, that's not what ended up being used. So I just ended up making a couple of changes to this adjust type map. Um, yeah, so it was pretty good. The only problem I really had was that for one, I didn't like that the radius was being it was an integer. I didn't really understand why that was the case, so I just made it a double and I accommodated the rest of the code to that. And also, this adjust amount I calculated here, this was originally just straight up 10. What it ended up doing was that the factor was just calculating the radius pretty much. It wasn't actually, making it raise more. So instead of that, I did this little calculation here to find out how much I want to decide to raise or lower the particular part of the height map. And it's pretty much just a quadratic relationship. You start out at the exact value factor, and as you get farther away from the center, it gets smaller. Yeah, and there we go. Thank you.